Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Director of Ceremonies. She just left. Before anything else, may I depart from protocol with the permission of the Director of Ceremonies to invite all of us to observe a few moments in memory of those people who, since we met in Kigali in October 2022, have since passed away for a variety of reasons, including those that have been mentioned by the dignitaries that have taken the floor before me, His Excellency the Prime Minister and Madam President of the 61st session of the UN General Assembly. They have mentioned natural catastrophes, most recently earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. They've mentioned war, civil strife, terrorism, all sorts of crises that have taken a human toll that is beyond reason. I would therefore like for us all kindly to, in our own way, individual ways, observe a few moments in memory of all those victims out there. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain, representing His Majesty, the Kingdom of this great land of Bahrain, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Bahrain, Speaker of the Shura Council of Bahrain, Honorable President of the IPU, my good friend Duarte Pacheco, and Your Excellency Mrs. Haya Al Khalifa, President of the 61st session of the UN General Assembly, distinguished speakers and deputy speakers of parliaments, delegates, representatives of partner organizations. It gives me great pleasure to address you this evening here in Bahrain. And let me preempt the President of the IPU. I'm sure he's going to do it in a very more profuse manner. I would like to thank the authorities of this great land of Bahrain and its leadership under His Majesty the King. I also want to acknowledge the support that we have received from the government, parliament, and people of Bahrain as we congregate here in Manama. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, as I was preparing my notes for this speech, I did ask my colleagues, so how many people are here in Manama from abroad to attend this assembly? And she told me we have something like 1,700 delegates here, most of them parliamentarians, parliamentary staff, members of different partner organizations, including some 60 speakers of parliament from across the globe. I said, great, this is something that we need to celebrate. And then I also thought of the skies, those satellites that are going around circumnavigating the world and watching every human activity. And I imagine that they must be wondering what is happening in Bahrain here with thousands of people congregating in one spot. I think there must be some red spot there. And I'm glad to say that all parliamentary roads lead to Bahrain these days. And we have cause to be proud of that. I say this because the array of participants here tonight is reflective of the human race itself, the diversity that we embody. We are here of different backgrounds, religion, race, cultures, political affiliation, and all. But we are united here over the next several days in service to mankind. I would like to register our gratitude to Bahrain for offering the IPU the opportunity to play its role as the global convener of parliaments. We have 130 parliaments represented here. If it had been possible to have all 178 parliaments here, if it had been possible to have all 45,000 parliamentarians worldwide here, I'm sure the authorities of Bahrain would have loved that, and the IPU would have loved that. But I dare to say that we do have here a representative sample of the people out there, and that whatever is coming out of your deliberations is something that is representative of the broad interest of the people of the world today. I am grateful because Bahrain gives us the opportunity to bring people together, people of different thoughts, that would then have a very safe environment to carry out deliberations with freedom of expression, respectful of the views of one another. In a nutshell, we have the opportunity here to give voice to all of the people in the world, to the 45,000 parliamentarians, and by extension, to the some 8 billion people on this planet. I therefore wish to express my strong hope that our deliberations will be devoid and bereft of self-serving rhetoric, arrogance, inflammatory, intolerant utterances, and that we will live up to the dignity and standards of parliamentary life as we have known them in our various jurisdictions. Secondly, Your Excellency, I want to thank you and your colleagues for allowing the IPU to play its role as bridge builder. During the next several days, there will be a host of meetings here, bilateral, multilateral, and otherwise. The IPU itself and its formal structures will be convening meetings that are intended to bring people together, to close the gap between differences among people, and to come up with solutions that are consensual. We'll have meetings of an important mechanism such as the Committee on Middle East Questions, trying to bring together positions regarding strife in the Middle East. We'll have meetings of the Cyprus Committee looking at how we can bridge the gap between the different communities on Cyprus. And I want to use this opportunity, and I hope the Israeli delegation will forgive me if I say this. Yesterday, I was very honored to meet the high-level delegation from Israel. I'm sure you'll agree with me that several years ago, it would not have been possible to have them here in this very country. And that is the concrete expression of the peaceful coexistence that we are all clamoring for. That you may have differences, you may have different opinions, but you're willing to come together. And I salute Bahrain for giving us that opportunity to live up to the foundational values of this organization, dialogue for the resolution of disputes. I am sure that the founding fathers of this organization, Kremer and Passy, would be smiling in their graves to see the sons and daughters of this world of different opinions coming together in common cause to mankind. I therefore believe that over the next several days, parliamentary diplomacy, which is complementary to the traditional form of democracy, will be in full display in Bahrain. Before I conclude, I want to say a few words about democracy because there has been a lot of hype about what democracy is, the presence or absence of democracy around the world. And Mr. President, I'm sure you're going to have a few words about this, but let me say that democracy is an aspiration. It's never a finite product. It is always work in progress. It is always something that we need to perfect on a daily basis. I say this because we meet in a country that has made a lot of progress when it comes to inclusiveness, a country that has made great strides in terms of gender equality. We can say today, when we look at the data regarding Bahrain, that the parliament is urging towards gender parity, and it's a trailblazer in the region. I did my homework and I discovered that this parliament has 20% membership represented by women. The average in this region is 17.7%, which means that they are above the regional average. They're close to the global average, which I was pleased to announce a few days ago, of 26.5% worldwide. And I want to use this opportunity, therefore, to urge the authorities of this country to be more vigilant and more robust to promote gender equality, because I have had cause to see that women and men contribute effectively to the well-being of society. So I want to conclude by saying that we should all echo what is said in the IPU's strategy in terms of its vision. We want a world where every voice counts. We want democracy for all at all times, and democracy that delivers on the expectations of all the people and not just a group of individuals. A democracy that, in terms of SDGs, leaves no one behind. Because democracy may be advanced, human rights may be advanced, all the hallmarks of democracy may be advanced, but if this does not translate into concrete products beneficial to the people, then it's meaningless. So we're here, I hope, and the decisions that will be taken here will go towards making democracy meaningful to the majority of the people of this world. We want to see this assembly here lead to strong decisions for parliaments to prosecute the development agenda, access to health care, universal health coverage, access to schools for children, access to education in general, and job opportunities for young people. It is only then that parliaments, and by extension the Inter-Parliamentary Union, can stay relevant to the global community. So remember, democracy for everyone, democracy that delivers for everyone. Thank you very much.